You're gonna bless so many people. McDonald's brags 1 million served.
Oh.
My name is Judah, and I'm one of the pastors here at Bridgeway Christian Church. And behind the camera is my friend and producing partner, Kirstie, Marchiano, Moshpitato, Marco Polo.
How have you not learned?
Nobody told you to have a difficult last name. You don't see people struggling with Sanders. We'll just make it simple. We'll just make it simple. Kirstie.
Hi, Marchiano.
The producer extraordinaire, and welcome to the season finale of Bridgeway Presents Never Have I Ever. Woo! Yes, we made it through the season. The show where Christians, believers, pastors, Jesus freaks and friends try things that they have never tried before. And if you've been watching throughout our season, you know that people have pushed themselves to the limit. People have done things that are anxiety-inducing, adrenaline-building, and they've tried things that they've never tried before. But we've also had the opportunity to hear their stories with Jesus, how they met him, why they love him, what he has done in their lives. And I am super excited because for the season finale, we have a great leader, and I'm excited that you're with us. Make sure to subscribe, to like, to comment, and listen, when you have the opportunity to push yourself to do something you've never done before, do it. Let's get started. All right, y'all, I'm super excited. Our season finale guest is none other than our senior pastor, the legendary Lance Hahn. Woo! Question, do you have a middle name?
I do,
What
yeah.
is it?
You're not gonna know it.
Oh!
I'm kidding.
It's
I'm
Cornelius,
kidding.
right?
It is not Cornelius. It's Cortland.
Oh.
What, you don't like it?
No, I don't really, actually, no. I was named after an attractive doctor my mom worked with. How weird is that?
That's sketch.
That's awkward.
I had a DNA test about your paternal lineage. I have questions.
Yeah, I have questions.
All right. So what is it that you do at Bridgeway Christian Church? I said you're the senior pastor, but what does that mean? What does that look like?
Yeah, no, there's actually a ton of stuff. So in addition to being the senior pastor, which means kind of casting vision and doing stuff like that, I also have to do the president and CEO role, which means there's an awful lot of business I have to do. So it's a matter of running different boards, making financial decisions, doing staff on-off hiring, firing decisions. I have to do corrective decisions. There's a lot of legal issues that I also have to handle through our company status. Yeah.
What's the hardest part of the job for you, and then what is your favorite part of the job?
Relational conflict is the hardest for me. It's the thing that drains me the fastest. I can fight spiritual warfare directly a lot easier than I can handle interactions with people I care about, where that tension, so that's probably the hardest thing that I have to do. And my favorite thing ever is watching someone transform in the Lord, where it is not just their efforts, it's the Holy Spirit doing it. You watch somebody go from death to life, you go from addiction to freedom, you go from absolute divorce to saving a marriage. It's stuff like that. When I see those radical changes, I know God's here.
And just as a sidebar question, if you were to do anything else, what would you do?
Okay, the fun dream would, I would be in acting. I would absolutely be in movie work.
I don't think I would have guessed that, honestly. I don't think I would have. Okay.
What genre, though?
What genre?
Horror.
What I guess I would say far more drama-based.
Like superhero?
That would be sweet, yes. I wish I could actually do that. That was even more of a dream. But
Captain Laherica.
I'm not quite sure.
Captain Cortland.
I am not quite sure that I have what it takes to make a huge living off of that.
An actor. actor. We should have made him do the audition for the play,
man.
for the musical. Make you sing 32 bars. Okay, all right. And how long have you been in your position at Bridgeway?
Yeah, so we are going on 26 years, so it was 25 and a half years. This October will be 26.
And isn't Bridgeway only like 25 years old?
I was not the first pastor. I don't know how many people know that. I was not the first pastor. The first pastor was here for a year and a half, and then ultimately didn't work out, and they went independent, and I came in when they did not have a pastor at all for 9 months.
We're gonna play a game called Never Have I Ever. The way this game is gonna work is I'm gonna make a series of statements, and if you've done them, you're gonna put a finger down.
Okay.
Now, Kirstie and I have done our research, so we think we have gotten you.
Okay.
And the very first thing that we say that you have never done, you're gonna do that today.
Oh.
Are you ready?
Okay, I'm
All
ready.
right, hold up your
I'm ready.
hand.
Here
All
we
right.
go.
Never have I ever been in a hard rock band.
Oh, no. That's absolutely my world.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So put
What
your
was
finger down.
Yeah, you gotta put your finger down.
I thought I'd never had...
No, you have.
You have. So you put a
I
finger
have
down.
done it, you put
if
it
you've
down.
done
Yes.
it. Maybe I didn't explain it well.
I didn't
put
know
a
the
finger
game.
down if you've done it.
If I've done it.
What was your rock band called?
Rock band was called Jesus Freaks. I did it from the moment I started playing drums. I started the band with a buddy of mine. 13 to 21, it was everything. We toured the United States. We put out CD. It's crazy. Yeah.
All right.
Wait, you started at 13?
Yeah, I started playing at 13. It's crazy.
That is kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty
All right.
young.
I also heard that while you had this like long hair rocker look, that you also had several piercings in your ears.
Oh yeah, I got 3 in my left and I had 2 in my right, and they've all closed up but one.
All right. Never have I ever owned more than 4,000 comics.
Yeah, no, you gotta see my garage, man. I have 4,500 comics. After last year, I got rid of 1,500 because they were not the ones I wanted to keep. Now, here's the thing. I collect modern comics to read, but I collect old comics for collectability.
What is the comic book that you have that you're most proud that you have?
Honestly, I bought from my brother. My brother grew up, he got me into comic books. My brother had a whole bunch of X-Men, if you guys have heard about the X-Men. I love that group, and so when I got old enough, I bought it from him, and having that collection from my brother is a big deal.
Who is your favorite X-Men?
Wolverine, absolutely.
All right.
I have a figurine of him in my office.
Come on. All right. Here we go. Never have I ever eaten a rattlesnake.
Okay, all right. Yes, I did. I had rattlesnake as an appetizer. I had it on crackers. This is so random, and it was part of a Tex-Mex concept. And when I saw it on the menu, I said, I have to have that. That is the most random thing ever.
Yeah, it is.
And sure enough, I ate it.
Was it good?
Did not taste like anything because the Tex-Mex covered it up.
You have to wonder who was the first person that saw the rattlesnake and thought to themselves, that would be delicious on a Ritz. I just can't. All right.
All right, here we go.
Never have I ever milked a cow. Yes.
No, I have never milked a cow.
We do our research around here.
No. Why would I have milked a cow?
Well, I don't
Why
know
not?
why you would have done it.
Why not?
Why not? Well, I guess that's what we're
Because
doing.
it's weird. That's why. I'm not a farmer.
Well,
Clearly.
today you're going to be something similar to a farmer, and we're going to milk a cow. So that's what we're going to do today. So
All
I'm
right,
super
let's do
excited.
it.
Let's go.
Okay.
All right, we are on our way to go milk a cow. I just want to note that, like, on the floor in his car is like comics right now. And if you're just ever interested in merch from his rock band, apparently, I don't even know if this is from his rock band, but apparently it exists. All right, so we always ask our guest to tell us their story with Jesus. Like, how did you meet him and then come to choose him?
Yeah, so I was blessed to be able to have a Christian household that I grew up in, right? So my mom was my spiritual role model. And so every night that I would watch her, she would read the word in her chair, in her room. I always knew her light was on. She was always reading the Bible. And so I kind of knew the Lord. By the time I went forward at an altar call, I was 6 years old, which felt late to me. So really, I have one of those testimonies where God rescued me very early.
It sounds like you knew what you were leaning into even at that young age. Is that accurate?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I got my first friend at 6 years old that was a neighbor in the area, because I grew up in El Dorado Hills where it was all country, right? I mean, there was nothing up there. And so there was a friend that was my age, and he came up. Well, I was ministering to him and talking about the book of Revelation.
Wow.
At 8 years old, we were talking about the rider on the white horse when he would come over and have a sleepover. There's nothing more unsettling than talking about the rider on the white horse at a sleepover. So I ended up really embracing my faith, and what's probably the most shocking thing out of all of it is I have never had a period of being away from the Lord, and that's very rare. So that is not an expectation on anybody. Everybody has to own their faith. God did a special work with me, a special grace with me that was his kindness. And so I've never had to walk away from it. Doesn't mean I don't sin. Just means that I haven't walked away from him.
The assumption that could be made in hearing that is like, oh, like Lance is perfect and Lance has never struggled with like real world troubles and sin and issues. And so one of the things that we often ask our guests is, what is something that the Lord has had to work with you through over the course of your life?
I think that me taking advantage of grace has been an issue, I think, in my life, because I know the heart of the Father. I know what grace means. I know how extravagant it is. What it does, it allows me to kind of walk into some territory that I don't believe blesses the Lord's heart. But yet I'm like, well, I know his heart, I know his nature, so I feel like I'm okay. I don't not do things because I'm afraid of rejection of God, because I feel like he's going to accept me. I have to do them out of discipline and love for him. But unfortunately, that depends on the season of your life, whether you're feeling like you want to live right or not live right. So I've had more challenges than I've had temptations, but I've had my fair share of temptations and struggles.
All right, so what is something currently, like actively in your life, that God is working with you through?
So I recently had to talk with both the elder board and the senior leadership team about an issue that I was processing right now. And that was, one of the gifts that I have is the ability to analyze very quickly and to come to very solid conclusions very rapidly. And you go, well, what could be wrong with that? Whenever somebody is pushing me too far and I snap, I will take all that power, harness it down into a way to shut a conversation down. And I have said things to my wife, to my friends, to people I've worked with, very harshly. And I don't believe that that is honoring to the Lord at all. And this was just something that came up recently where God said, you know what, I'm not pleased with that at all. And it's hard. The reason I told it to my leadership teams is I've done it to them, and I wanted them to know I don't want to be a man that just says it. I got to now carry it out. So if anyone sees it happening, they're going to be able to say, okay, I know that's not what he desires to do. And the harsh language, it's not that I'm not yelling, it's that I'm using things and concepts that are so heavy that I'll just drop the hammer on somebody, and it's not kind. And I'm doing it only to get them to stop talking. And it's not fair. So I am still learning that. I'm still wrestling through that, even at this age.
Yeah. And then you have been married for how long now?
Let's see, we just had our 28th wedding anniversary.
And you have 2 adult daughters. And so talk to me a little bit about kind of your thought process as a dad and what kind of steps you took in raising your daughters.
If we're going to be, kind of bottom line this whole thing, Susie is the primary reason for so much of their health. I focused all on internal stuff, and she was able to put together their lives around the outside as well. So what I focused on is character. Everything was about character, because everything else in life can change. Character tends to remain the same. I never forced them to go to church. They were able to grow at their own rate, which means to this day they love church. It's really been a situation of letting them grow up and be them. They had to own their faith. They had to go through their own testimony. They had to go through this process of, what does it mean that I'm a Christian? Not my dad, not my mom. So they had to look at it, and I had to give them room to discover. I had to give them room to figure things out and not clamp down on them.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. All right.
We arrived.
We are arriving now at wherever we are in the middle of nowhere to milk a cow. And I'm excited to watch. Amen.
I'm excited
Turn off
for
the
you
camera.
to join.
I said what we said. Said what we said.
You're gonna join.
Let's sing a song. Hallelujah. Kirstie, we can't hear you. We don't know what you're saying. So we are out in the middle of the night. I have no idea where we are. I have no idea. If
We're in Loomis.
Okay, that's what they say.
Well, we were.
In Loomis.
Yes.
And we're with some friends here. This is Graham, and give me your name one more time. And Bart?
Bart.
Bart, B-A-R-T. All right? They own like 6 acres, and Graham here is gonna show us how to milk a cow so that then Pastor Lance can milk a cow.
And you.
Graham, what things would you tell us are really important about milking a cow?
The udders, you want to get your hands pretty high up so then a lot of milk can come out. Because when you squeeze, it'll make your hand go a little lower, so you're going to keep putting it up.
Got it.
Smart.
Like all things, it comes down to relationship.
Totally. Come on.
You have to have a relationship with this animal. And a happy cow will produce more milk than an unhappy cow.
All right, Pastor, this is our rapid fire section. So I'm gonna throw out some this or that questions. You gotta answer it really quickly. Bow tie or regular tie?
Regular tie.
Sneakers or boots?
Sneakers.
Summer or winter?
Summer.
Sweet or savory?
Sweet.
Savory or spicy?
Spicy.
Would you rather live in the suburbs or on the farm life like we're out here right now?
I think suburbs.
Well, you did it. You milked the cow.
Did it. Come
Check
on.
that off the bucket list.
That's right.
So, one of the things that we're always asking folks who are on this show is why have they made Bridgeway their home?
So the interesting thing is I didn't want to be a pastor, and what changed it for me was the people. I fell in love with the people, and that is what God used to melt my heart and kind of change my whole direction of life. And so why I made Bridgeway my home literally is you're my family. I mean, I don't have a whole world outside of this. That everyone here at Bridgeway is everybody that I care about. And so the idea of trying to be anywhere else doesn't make any sense to me, because it's really deep for me. So yeah, I made it my home because I felt like this is a place where God's presence is. I felt like this is a place where we can pursue Him and not be stuck by tradition. and the people are absolutely wonderful. That's why.
So it's the people, and I can say we have some great people. Listen, thank you for watching this season of Never Have I Ever. And what we always want to say is if you're in the Sacramento region and you don't have a church home, any given weekend, Bridgeway is your spot. Make sure you find out more information at bridgeway.church. And we have officially milked a cow. Kirstie, we got through a season.
Yeah.
We did it. Never Have I Ever, Season 1. We love you for watching. Open up, Kirstie. This is the life for them. I just want to come in for this part. You know, the like where you eat the stuff. That's the part I like.
Judah, stop looking at him.
It's a 2.5-year-old.
Well, I bet you 10 to 2.
You need to think through this.